Yeah, we took like a little small mini vacay, but other than that, we're fine. We're just trying to stay busy. That's it.
Yay.
Yeah. What
You
about
guys are
you?
lucky.
How's the family with you guys?
The family is great. I mean, my little one's going off to college. She's going to San Jose State, so she's living in San Jose. So, both my adults' kids, they don't really go anywhere with us anymore. So
Yeah.
she and I have been taking these mini adventures together, and it's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of not nice, right? Because you're so used to going with all your kids, and now it's just the two of y'all.
You know what's crazy? My son is so active, and he hasn't gone with us for several years now. So that we got used to. So when he comes, we just get super excited. And my
Yeah.
daughter used to travel with us everywhere. It's a little bit more sad with her, but now it's like there's other people that we bring up on our vacations and stuff. But this is gonna then our next adventure is just gonna be C and I. We haven't done that in a really long time, just me and him. So I'm excited for that actually. So we'll see. It's a different stage in our life for sure.
And me and Ali, we were saying when our kids get to that point, we just want to probably downgrade to like a condo or something, and then rent this place out and just go and travel and do whatever, because our
For
home
real.
is really gonna be a place where we come and eat and sleep.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we'll see. We shall see. But okay. Um, how's business this week?
Oh, it's
You
been kind of
you got so
crazy.
many
It's pretty
calls.
awesome. I mean, we have a fan that came in, so I'm really, really happy about that. I was like, I always get super excited when they share how we share to the public all of the free information and just kind of like uh, public announcement, kind of like. And we're here to just help everybody make sure that they are looking at their situation with a fine tooth,
Yeah,
comb, and to make sure that they're not getting sold anything that they shouldn't be getting. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
was really
yeah.
fun. And then I had two other clients found me on Reddit, which is so weird to me, but so cool at the same time.
Yep. Once you're on social media, depending on who shares it, where and what, um, you just never know.
Yeah, yeah,
That's kind of like how it works.
yeah. It's so nice to see that our message is getting across and people are like seeing how beneficial it can be. Hey, Charles.
Yeah,
What
yeah, for
if?
sure. What's up? Good morning, bro. You got your coffee yet? You sound like you did. You sound like you got two extra doses. But how's your week, man? How's the family?
Good, good. Um, we've been doing. I've been meaning to talk about this. We've been doing a lot of new builds lately, so I got some fun
Oh,
stories about those. Yeah, it,
okay, okay.
it ain't
That's
getting better.
awesome.
It ain't getting
That
better.
is interesting. So even on new builds, you're doing a lot of inspections, which is actually a good thing so that, we know the builders are doing their due diligence as well.
So you know what it is? It's people that have lived in their home for about 11 months, and their builder warranty, is about to expire. So what's happening is a lot of people are reaching out to us to do that warranty so that they can submit that report to the builder to get things fixed before they won't do anything. But even with
Oh,
that,
so it's after they bought.
yeah, but it's been getting
Interesting.
harder for them to get these things done. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely talk about that.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. But hey, Chichi fans, we're back. I know it's been a minute, but we just kind of want to give you guys a market update on the whole industry, what's been going on. Mortgage rates have gone down, but we're getting a lot of you guys calling, reaching out to me, you know, asking should you guys refinance right now if you guys bought like a few months ago, earlier this year, so we kind of want to put some numbers together. This is Lisa's idea. She wanted to kind of put some numbers together for you guys and just, kind of just go from there, see if it really does make sense for you to refinance. And, For the majority, you guys are probably gonna be a little disappointed. You guys might have to wait a little bit more, but at least see the numbers for yourself, and you guys could decide what you guys want to do with that, right? But I am gonna be showing some data with you guys about the market update and all that as well. So let me just go ahead and do that first, get that out of the way, and then we'll go from there. Sounds good to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Coolio, coolio. Okay. All right. Inventory is getting up there, but it's kind of steadied out, right? Right here. For the past 3 weeks. It seems like that inventory seems to be going down. Okay, yeah. Inventory is down a little bit just from last week. New listings are also down 8%. Sold homes is up though. Pending homes as well. 13% pending homes increase. 5% sold homes from last week. Now last month, inventory is more by 9%. New listing is also more by 30%. That's good. But sold homes went down by 1%. Pending homes is up 5%. Now, same time last year, inventory this year is higher by almost 50%. New listing is higher as well by 21%. But sold homes are down this time compared to last year by 18%.
Wow.
Pending, I know, right? That's kind of shocking to see.
Yeah.
hmm Um, Pending homes is up though, 15% from last year. So, you know what I think it is, Lisa?
What's up?
There's delays in the insurance industry right now. It's so bad.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And people are getting insurance out, I guess. It's a term now, which is terrible because it shouldn't be a term to begin with. But some of these people, where they're not really aware, and you let your insurance lapse, right? When you let your insurance lapse and then you put somebody in there, your insurance is going to come up 2 to 3 times. So that I'm having conversations with people who are saying that they can't keep up with their mortgage and their insurance at the same time. So it's going to be a unique time where people may actually have to sell because the whole insurance situation. But the problem is too is they have to sell, but the people who are buying it, the house has already been marked like that, then they're going to have a hard time getting insurance themselves, the new owners.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because then some people are going last resort for the California Fair Plan,
Yeah.
and dude, they take forever to get back.
Well, they're very bombarded right now. It used to not be that way, but they're super bombarded. Remember, they used to be the last line of defense, but now
Yeah,
it seems like many places, especially the ones that are affected by wildfire, they are the first line of defense.
yeah. So
So
I wonder if all of those delays have anything to do with this. Because if you look, pending
it's a huge
homes,
possibility. It's a huge possibility,
yeah,
especially
that's
in
why
the
that's why pending homes are so much higher.
it is, and especially in homes where people are desiring in the mountains, in really nice scenery and everything like that. But you get hit with this insurance situation, and it's
Yeah,
not easy to sell.
yeah. Hmm. Okay. Well, that's our take on this. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, but I just feel like it's because of all these delays. That's why there's a lot more pending homes than sold because these, once it's not pending no more, it's gonna make this go up. Okay, pending goes sold and then it gets to be moved out the market. That's how it works. So I feel like that's the reason for this right here.
So homes are staying on the market longer.
A little bit longer, not by much, as we're gonna go over in a bit. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's still going quick, not the way people would like it to be. I mean, sellers like it, but for buyers, it's not gonna shift the market or anything like that.
Right.
But average price per square foot went down from last week 4%, and is also down from last month by 5%. Same time last year, it's down 4%. All right. Now, see days on the market right here. See, it's pretty steady. 27 days on average compared to last week, 26 days on average, right? And then from last month, it was 27 days last month. This month is on average 23 days. See, so it's still very fast, right? Like that's
Right.
barely 3 weeks. So like last year, same time, 22 days, you know? So homes are still going fast, and that just tells you it's still a seller's market. If you're marketing the home correctly, pricing it correctly, doing all that as a seller, it's gonna go. It's gonna go quick. Still, 23 days. That's
Now,
pretty fast.
I want to add to that, okay, Chia, because I've seen it too, where your home is above the normal area price and everything like that. That's going to sit for a little bit longer. That's going to change the data just a little bit, right? And then you have
Yep.
all these homes that are below the average home prices. Those are going still really, really quick. So on the average, that's where that's coming from.
Yes, that's exactly where it's coming from, So when we get to here, right? Average sold price, which is 616 this week,
Mhm.
but for this month, right? It's 612. So it went down this month compared to last month, which was 639.
So this is all across Sacramento, right, Chia?
Sac County, yes. So that's the medium average sold price right now, the medium home price right now, right?
Yeah.
Um, Home prices are going down, and it's because sellers have to reduce it now to just make it competitive.
Right. But
Because
again, we're seeing that happening a lot more where the average home prices are higher than right now. It's roughly about 616, right? Across the
mhm,
board of Sacramento County. And I love this point because it's like if homes are in the 700s, in the 800s, they're gonna sit a little bit longer,
a little
right?
bit longer, yes.
And then anything below 600,000 is going like hotcakes still right now. So
Right.
pricing it right, making sure that you guys know the market and everything like that makes a huge, huge difference.
Yes. Because when you go higher above the medium home price, Lisa, the buying pool gets smaller and smaller, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's why. And I mean, this is very interesting. Last year, same time, our average sold price was $646,000. So it's gone down this year by 5%. Interesting, right? So I
Yep.
mean, I mean, it like you guys heard me said it here. Like here, let me just show this real quick, right? If this happens on a month-to-month basis for a while, then yes, it's probably gonna start shifting everything downwards. So the red, right? It's a sold. If you guys look here, it's not really consistent. See how it's going? It's still trending up for the past few months. Once this red line starts trending down, kind of like the active price like this, then that's when we'll start kind of noticing more of a shift on a bigger scale. But you guys are probably saying, okay, well the green line is going down on a month-to-month basis, Chia. So what does that mean? This is active price. Sold price is more important because active price basically means a seller could just name their price. But if you put it on the market for $1 million or 800,000, it doesn't sell. It doesn't get put into the data, right? So that's what happened here, right? Last year in May, the average home price that was on the market was around $806,000. But as you guys can see, it's kept going down over the last few months. It's trending down, and now the average active price is 721,000. But those homes, like what Lisa was mentioning, takes a little bit longer to sell. So, like right now, that's why the average sold price is 625,000. Okay, and this is on a month to month. The reason I'm showing you guys weekly is because it will tell you guys exactly what's been going on now, right? Because most of you guys that watch this show are want to know about what's happening right now, you know. But it's good to look at it on a longer scale as well, on the month to month too, so that way you guys know what's gonna happen in the future. So that's why I like to show that, you know. But prices have gone down just to get it sold, okay? Um, Another thing I want to mention too is whatever is being recorded on these data, if a home that's priced or listed above 612 is not sold yet, it's not gonna be on this data. If more homes above that price point is getting sold, then it'll show up. It'll change the average, of course, right? So we just haven't been seeing a lot of that happening, you know. Not to say, because I don't want you guys to look at it and be like, oh yeah, Chia, Lisa, and them are saying that if a home is at 650, it's not selling. So let me go and lowball it. That's not what we're saying at all. The buying pool for that price point is just a lot lower. So there's not many of those homes that are getting into this data because majority of the homes that's on this data are below that price point. Hopefully that makes sense. That makes sense, right, Charles? Lisa?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? Because there are homes that are still selling that's above that price point. Okay, so just want you guys to know that. Okay, let's go to months worth of inventory. And we are at 2.3 compared to 2.1. Last year we had 1.3 months worth of inventory. So this year we have a lot more. Okay. And that is gonna have an effect on the buying pool too. The buying pool for the ever since the rates went up got smaller, right? And as inventory started going higher and higher, it's gonna make the data change a lot, right? So
Right.
look, we got like almost doubled what we had last year. To 1.3, well, more than doubled, 80% more than last year, you know. But the buying pool probably remained the same. So inventory is slightly gonna go up, but like I said, it needs to happen a little bit longer for the market to really take a hit and shift. And if you guys look right here, it's only been going on for the past 2 months. See,
Right. But with this
1.7. Go ahead.
said, Chia, people are like under the impression that it's like, oh, okay, it's going to be a buyer's market. I'm waiting, and they're on the fence still, and they're waiting for that, right? Here's the thing, guys. Okay, it's not that the buying pool shortened up by a whole lot. I'm still
Right.
taking a lot of loan applications. I still have a lot of clients looking for homes, but the thing is, the number of buyers and the numbers of sellers still lean towards more on the buyer side than the seller side. So that's the inventory portion, right? And the other part is because home prices are rising, people are looking, but in the price point that they want, they keep having to go lower and lower because of the interest rate going up, and that messes up with their debt to income ratio. So there's still a lot of people looking. Rent is continuing to rise, and
Yep.
if you wait, you may just miss that boat again. I mean, I don't know how many times Chia and I get people are like, "Man, I should have listened to you. I should have bought 2 years ago. I should have
Yeah.
bought." 3 years ago, and so on and so forth, right? And I tell people all the time, it's like, hey, don't waste the next 5 years, don't waste the next 10 years stressed out about what you didn't do the last 5 years. Go ahead and understand that this is a long-term game. As long as you know the numbers, as long as it makes sense to you, then you got to take that plunge. Especially if you guys remember how to play Monopoly. Everybody wants Park Place, everybody wants Boardwalk, but sometimes in
Hmm.
order to get that, you gotta get the other properties first to build up that fund.
You got to get
That's
vaulted.
Yes.
That's how it works, basically. You nailed it. So that's basically how it works. So, I mean, that's the data for you guys. Um, take that in, use that to help you guys make a decision if you guys are out there buying or selling a home. Um, but I honestly, like what Lisa said, I don't see the market shifting in a buyer's market anytime soon. Okay, and with yeah, this is a good this is a good time to talk about rates. With the interest rates dropping just this past couple of days, like we've been getting a lot of people calling saying, "Hey, okay, I want to buy now. It's finally gone down, right?" So like this is today's rate, all
Hmm.
right, 6.5 for conventional 30-year, FHA 6.15. The other day was at high fives, right? So it's slightly gone back up, all
Right.
right.
Right. You're very right about that, Chia. On Monday, it was for FHA, it was sitting at 5.875, and
Yeah,
30 was on an average at 6.38. Okay, so it started to go up in the last 2 days already. So it was really, really great on Monday. But even at 6.38, 6.58, 7%, as you can see, going up or going down, it's not a huge thing where people are like, "Oh man, I thought it was going to drop to the fours." No, it's it's going to be a little bit of a slow growth. We were told, and again, we were told that interest rates should be going down in the next month. But what if I've said this whole entire year? They say that, but we're not wholeheartedly sure if they're going to stick to that because it really depends on the job market. It really depends on how the bonds are doing and whatnot. Okay, and a lot of other things that's taken into place. Japan stocks. If you have stocks, I'm so sorry, you guys. It's gone a lot down. So that's going to affect what's happening across the board, real estate and everything worldwide.
yeah. So for those of you, I don't know if you wanted to pull your numbers up right now, Lisa, but for
I
those of
got it.
you guys that saw the rates went to like the mid fives, high fives, and you guys are like, okay, I wanna buy a home now or refinance now. Depending on how fast you get your documentation, and you can't even lock in the rate that day. And because it probably took you 24 hours or 48 hours to get everything in to be able to lock in the rate, it changed already. So that's just how volatile everything is. That's just how it is. And like I wanted Lisa to kind of go over the numbers on her end as a real life scenario. If
Yep.
you bought a home prior with the prior rates and you're refinancing into today's rate, how it's gonna look like, so you guys kind of have an idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me
So
know when you're sharing your screen so I can remove mine.
I am sharing my screen now.
I don't see nothing coming through yet. Okay, there it is.
Okay, awesome. Is this big enough for everybody?
Zoom in a little bit.
Okay, that good?
Okay, that's good.
All right, guys. So I'm going to put here the original purchase price is roughly a 500. If it's higher, I can definitely put that in as well. Okay. So in last year, if you had a interest rate of say 7.25, last year it almost went up to 8%. So anybody that has a rate of 7.25 and above, you may want to take a look at whether or not refinancing makes sense for you. You've had this loan for a year. Your loan term was 30 years. This was your original payment. And this is based on somebody that put only 3% down. A lot of times people are under this impression that they have to wait until their home appreciates by 20%. You do not have to wait for that. It can be as low as 5%. So if you bought your house at 500,000 and it went up to 527, that's actually more than 5%. I kept it like this so that you can see, hey, does this make sense for you? So if the value came in at 527, okay, and you're not doing a cash out, right now with the rate being at 6.5, this is how much your principal, interest, property tax, home insurance, mortgage insurance. Now, a lot of times people, again, under the impression that they have to have that 20% in order to get rid of the mortgage insurance. Well, the mortgage insurance actually becomes lower if you look at the original when you're putting only 3% down. The more equity you have in your house, the less your mortgage insurance is going to be. So now it's dropping to 118, okay? So even still, even with you having the mortgage insurance, it still may make a lot of sense for you. A lot of times lenders, especially online lenders, will advertise like, hey, let me do your refinance. It's completely free. It is not. So this is where it's really
Please
important.
talk about that.
Really
Please talk about
important.
that.
Thank you. You want to have a little bit more 5% equity because originally, if you're putting 3% down on a $500,000 house, okay, your monthly payment, okay, or I'm sorry, your loan that you still owe is roughly about $485,000. So I'm going to show you a mortgage calculation chart. If you had the home for
Zoom in on that.
okay,
Sorry. There you go.
okay, awesome. So if you had it for a year, this is 12 months, okay? Most of the payment that you've been making is actually only interest. You see how it's leaning more towards interest? This is the principal that comes into it, okay?
Mhm.
This is here for that 1 year. So in this time, in 1 year, you really only paid off maybe about almost $5,000, okay? So going back here, okay? In order for you not to have anything out of pocket except for the appraisal cost, okay, this is how much it costs roughly to refinance a home in this price range. It gets added on into your loan. So your new loan amount, okay, since you are supposedly having only 480, okay, a little over 480 here, your new loan amount is going to be 491, okay? A lot of people don't realize this because their monthly payment is lower. Even though you're adding on more because the interest rate is 0.75 lower, you're still saving a little over $200 a month, which means annually you're saving $2,416, okay? And in the life of the loan, you're saving a little over $72,000. Now, keep in mind, because you've had it for a year, okay? That means you've already paid over $38,000 in interest. Then minus the cost of the refinance added on, okay, additional, because you can't really include property tax and insurance because you're currently already paying for that. So I've already deducted that for you. You would be saving on the life of the loan almost $28,000. So in this situation, it's still worth it for you to refinance. Now, I'm going to go into the second scenario. Can you still buy down the interest rate on a refinance? You absolutely can. So if you buy it down, okay, a quarter of a point, okay, it doesn't seem like it makes a huge difference, right? You still have equity in your house, but you'll be saving this much. And towards the end, do you see where this number and this number, this is how much it bumped up to? Then if you buy down 2 points, you're down to 5.875, okay? So it takes you down to this amount on a monthly basis. Remember, keep in mind, if you don't buy down the interest rate anyway, this is how much it's going to cost. Yeah, it looks like it's doubled, but take a look at this, guys. You'd be saving almost $346 a month. What a difference would that make in your livelihood and what you're doing right now, okay? So if you can save additional 345, especially for those who bought where it's like they're at the very, very top end of their debt to income ratio, this could make a huge difference in your livelihood because from here to here, look at the difference in what you'd be saving in the life of your loan.
It might be the difference of making up for the increase of property tax and insurance.
Right. Now, the other part is too, guys. Okay. Well, Lisa, does it make sense? What if I have a 7% interest rate? Okay. So if you have a 7% interest rate, okay, then this amount, okay, it's almost there. Okay. So it might still make sense for you to do that. Okay. This is where you can see the numbers are a little bit lower, but it still may make sense for you. Now, I'm going to go do this. What if it's only 6.75% that you had? Okay. Because many people last year have bought down their interest rate. So a lot of times
Yeah.
people say, well, why did I buy down my interest rate when interest rate is going to go lower anyway? Well, here's the reason. Because in refinance, this is how much it's going to cost you anyway. But if you bought down the interest rate, it'd be the same. So you actually already beat everybody to the punch, because if the interest rate goes down and you already had that, great. You don't have to shell out the cost and refinance again. Okay. And if it doesn't go down, again, you've already beat everybody to the punch because you've already secured a lower interest rate. Does that make sense?
No,
So
it does.
6.75. Okay. Let me go ahead and plug in the numbers here. 6.75, 3145, 570. Okay. All right. Now you're only saving a little over $100 in the life of the loan. Again, the reason being that why this doesn't make sense is because you've already paid into this for a whole year. That means this is how much it is. This is how much the cost of refinance. So actually, in the life of the loan, you're losing $5,000. Then at the highest tier, if you're buying down the interest rate, then it would make sense because now you're saving over $200. Personally, for me, I feel like the rule of thumb is if you're not saving at least $200, I would say wait to refinance. The less times you refinance, the more financially it would benefit you. Now, of course, if you refinance because the interest rate is 6.5% and you got it at 7.25% that we talked about earlier, okay, that still makes sense. If it drops again to 4%, absolutely, all day, every day.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that helps.
Awesome.
Yeah, I hope that helps everybody understand, the cost benefits of having a refinance. And if you're in this type of situation, let us know. We're more than happy to help and crunch these numbers. And even though interest rate did go up again in the last 2 days, like Chia said, in order to even lock that rate for you, you got to put in the application. You got to get everything started first. And then it's kind of like the stock market. I watch it for you and everything like that. And once it starts to look like it did on Monday again, then we just hit the lock button and we're ready to go.
Yeah, and remember just another reminder about the Excel that Lisa shared. That is based off of somebody buying a home last year. And
Yeah,
that's important to remember because there's equity in your home now. So when you do a refinance, some of that equity is basically going back into paying for the closing costs. So you don't have any upfront costs, but it's not free because your equity is going back into the loan amount, okay, to
right,
cover for those. So I want you guys to understand that because sometimes you guys see us going through those numbers and you guys are like, oh man, I don't need nothing upfront and I might save money. Heck yeah, let's do it. No,
right,
you got to have equity. And what happens if you don't have equity? You bought it just a few months ago and the rate was that high. Then that means that's how much you're gonna have to come in at the closing table. It's gonna cost you
correct,
around that much. Okay,
correct.
so Lisa did it based off of 5%. That's very conservative because as you guys saw, like home prices have gone up quite a bit
Yeah,
by about 4 to 5%. So 5% will probably be what you would need at the closing table now.
right. And the
So
other thing, too, guys, the other thing is I did it as a year just to simplify the explanation. But those of you who bought in January, February, March, those interest rates were also in the mid to high sevens sometimes. So you don't have to have it for a year as long as there is at least a little bit of equity into it. Again, if you're putting 3% down, or if you already put 5% down, this
mhm.
could be a good time for you to refinance.
Yeah. No, I like it. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa.
You're very welcome. I'm getting so many calls on it, so I might as well say, hey, let's do a
Yeah,
little,
it's
let's make sure that the public knows this.
yeah, and the reason we're bringing it up and we wanted to show you guys live is because sometimes we talk to you guys over the phone and then you guys are very excited, right? Because hey, look, the rates went down. Everybody's talking about it. We're seeing it on the news. We're seeing it on our app. Let's put it in our application to buy a home. And then when Lisa actually does the application for your scenario, and the numbers aren't what you think it was, then you get a little bit, you kind of get a little bit discouraged and frustrated about everything. So that's why we wanted you guys to, at least have a real life expectation of what's going on and actually look at the numbers because numbers don't lie. Depending on what documents you give Lisa and what your credit is at and what your debt to income ratio is at, it's gonna affect the numbers a lot and what you're gonna bring to the table at the closing to pay for the fees and all that. So like it's always good to look at your own numbers so that you can make a better decision, not somebody else's numbers because we don't know what their lifestyle is like compared to yours.
Right.
So yeah. All right. Charles, didn't you have something you want to share with us today, Charles?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a quick reminder about how everything's going with these new builds. So I think what I've noticed lately is there's a lot of people that are hitting us up for inspections on new builds that they purchased a year ago. So
Yep.
I think there was an influx of people that wanted to get that these incentives and these special rates that these new builds were giving. And so a lot of people bought last year. I mean, we're still getting people that are still buying this year that are trying to get their inspections before they close. But yeah, we've been getting a lot of that warranty, what's called a quote unquote warranty inspection. And you know, it's unfortunate that basically what we've been finding is a lot similar to what I've been saying, all this time. I just feel like the quality's gone down. It's really, kind of discouraging to me. I have seen some really nice new builds as well, but the majority of what we've seen is a lot of the same. Cutting corners, not doing as much as, some of the different developments. They just do less. They don't have the same quality. So, it's just unfortunate. I highly recommend trying to get an inspection before you close because, some builders are okay with doing, some of these repairs and things like that after you close and closer to the end of the warranty, but a lot of them don't. And so they're a lot more inclined to do things before you close as opposed to after. So it's definitely a good
So
idea.
Charles, um, okay, so earlier I misunderstood and I thought that you were doing these inspections before the builder finishes building, but you're doing it after because people are calling in. Now, when people are calling into are they calling you directly or are they calling the home warranty first?
No, so they're not calling the home warranty first. I mean, some of them have been dealing with the home warranty. Some of them have had problems, and so they're kind of frustrated. They've been dealing with things, and others just know this is always something that we've done. This is always something that we've done because right at that 11-month period, people want to make sure that they get in and talk to their builder right before that warranty expires. I mean, I know they have the structural warranty for like 10 years or whatever it is, but that warranty that covers like cracks in the wall and other small things that come up, that builder will take care of that up until a year. And then after that, you're on your own. So that's what we get the calls on. So it's not necessarily that people are having issues every time. Some of them just know that, hey, my warranty is about to expire. I want to get this inspection done so that I can make sure that nothing's going on that we haven't already noticed, kind of thing. And we almost always find things, especially lately. I mean, I used to do these inspections and, it was just like nothing. And nowadays we're coming in and people are already complaining and saying, I have this, 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 and this. Can you look at that? And then also we're coming to them with additional information, once the inspection's done. So
Right. So this is really, really important to know. I mean, my first home in Elk Grove was also a brand new build, and there's so many things that it wasn't aware of. And guys, I did have to call the builder several times on fixing silly things, plumbing and so on and so forth. Okay. This is important to note because a lot of times people are under this impression that, hey, I am okay to pay a higher property tax. I'm okay to pay the Melrose. I'm okay to pay sometimes an HOA as well. Now, you just added $300 to $500 to sometimes $800 to the life of your loan. Now, keep in mind that Melrose, it will go down a little bit, but property tax will continue to rise.
Oh, did it get cut out?
No, your audio went out, Lisa.
Oh yeah, your audio went way out. Oh, now she's going out.
Yeah, must have been that famous internet she's got over there. I don't want to say any names of companies. but
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I mean it's just speaking on that same thing that she's saying, it's very important because you think, okay, well, I'm just gonna take this and get a new one because then that way I don't need to worry about it. It's perfect, I don't have to worry about purchasing a home that someone else has lived in. Everything should be great. Plus I have the warranty and it's all brand new. It's all brand new. So, there's definitely pluses to that. Obviously, you have brand new equipment. It's much less likely that you're going to have to do big ticket upgrades. But yeah, the roof. That's been one of the things that I found the most is roof problems. Like tiles that were just slipped or forgotten, or flashings that were forgotten on the roof. I mean, just crazy things that you would think, doesn't somebody check this stuff?
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I agree. I think a lot of yearly warranties are ending, like what you're saying, and so you're gonna get a lot of those calls. And you're right, some builders won't honor that even before their warranties expire. So that's why I like to tell people don't wait till the 11th hour to order your home inspections. Probably do it like 8 to 10 months in.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
sometimes what happens is because so I know someone that works for a builder, and like he tells me what happens is everybody waits till that 1/11th hour, right, to do their warranty claims. And then now the builders, their superintendents and all of their contractors they got on site have to go through that list, right? And when they go through that list, by the time they get to you, if you're like the 200th home that they got to go and do the insurance claim for, it might have just gone over that 12-month period, then now they're not gonna honor it. They're gonna try to save that cost somehow, So it's
Right.
very shady. Well, it can be shady. And so just watch out. If you're gonna go new build route, just know that you're gonna probably come into these kind of issues.
Right.
Yes, it's a newer home, but still, uh, do your home inspections, but don't wait till the 11th hour. Do it like month 8, month 10. Don't wait till like it gets to exactly 11, month and a half, and then do it.
Right. And sorry, I got cut off earlier, guys. And what I meant to say was, it's like, even though the brand new build, when they stage it and everything, and you come inside, they stage it for $200,000 up with all the upgrades and everything like that. It's going to look so beautiful. And people are under the impression that if they pay a little bit more for all of this and everything like that, everything is going to be nice and easy and stuff. But that's not always the case, right, Charles?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So reconsider all of the costs that you're getting for a brand new build. It's not a bad idea or anything like that, but you got to reconsider all these costs so that you can put it in your budget, future planning, so that you can continue to have a successful time and not a stressful time as a homeowner.
So there's this article I shared with you guys. It's on ADUs. I wanted to kind
Yeah.
of share with the Chichi fans, and we could talk about it. So ADUs, if you guys don't know what it is accessory dwelling units. Basically, an additional home you can make in your backyard or to your existing home layout to where you could rent it out or use it as like an in-law suite. I wanted to share this with you guys because this is local here. And title says Orangevale family left unfinished tiny home, blames Fair Oaks based company for illegal practices. The CEO of Anchor Tiny Homes told ABC 10 he intends on finishing all projects and nothing illegal is happening. Well, let's just kind of take a look, and then kind of go from there.
Did you know
Oh,
YouTube is the #1 most watched content on TV with US adults during prime time? Reach engaged audiences with YouTube advertising. There's only one YouTube. Be part of it with YouTube ads.
be part of it.
Right now, on To the Point, unfinished projects.
We're not just talking about me. We're talking about over 200 families.
As customers see liens placed on their property with half-built tiny homes. Tonight, how a company they hired is responding. Plus, the park fire as seen from space. New images showing just how fast this fire has grown.
With a shift in our winds, I'm tracking where the park fire smoke is headed next and the 100s ahead.
And why land owned by the State Department of Education might actually help teachers and what it could mean for our local schools. Good evening. This is To the Point. I'm Becca Habiger. Alex Bell has the night off. We start with a story first on ABC 10. A Fair Oaks-based company, Anchored Tiny Homes, boasts about their product and service being top rated. But many customers are now finding they're left with unfinished projects and liens placed on their homes. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen shares one family's story and how the company is responding.
Dad was excited to customize a home for himself.
In Sarah Schumann's backyard in Orangevale lies this fresh start for her father-in-law. He lost his home in the 2018 Camp Fire.
Dad was very persistent on, I want my own washer and dryer, and I want my own oven.
The goal is to have her father-in-law walk into his brand new home with a sense of pride.
I don't know.
But its bare bones is all it will be for now.
Oh, I'm getting frustrated as heck.
This project started back in February when Schumann and her family decided to hire Anchored Tiny Homes to build this tiny home in her backyard. Schumann
At
agreed to
Merrick,
pay
food
around
is our love language because food is
$120,000
your love language too. Merrick,
What's going
real
on?
is our recipe.
for the completion of the projects to build this tiny home in her backyard. Schumann agreed to pay around $120,000 for the completion of the project. But issues started happening when she noticed it was difficult to get a hold of the company regarding potential flooding issues.
I couldn't get an engineer or anybody from Anchored Tiny Homes to come out and take a look at it.
And then she started to get notices of liens being put on her property.
Again, I'd reach out to my project manager. He said everything is fine.
But Schumann says nothing is fine. Subcontractors stopped showing up to the project, and it's been 2.5 weeks since any work has been done. The remainder of an active construction site sits abandoned on her property.
What has the response been?
Nothing. Nothing.
I just want to kind of humbly come on here and say that I'm sorry to everybody.
Colton Paulus is the CEO.
It was not our intention for any of this to happen, and we just grew too fast, took on too much debt, and AP built up to where we couldn't pay contractors on time just due to the explosive growth, and it leaves obviously jobs being stopped at this point. We're working 12 14-hour days to get investors in the door.
Schumann's family is one of many, and Paulus confirms with ABC 10 he has canceled some contracts for other families in attempt to make things right. An intention he says he has for all families, including Schumann's.
It is our intention to finish every single job. It is not our intention to stop projects. We're not abandoning people and leaving them high and dry.
After spending about $116,000 on this unfinished project, so Schumann says has been done.
And we're done. Done. Yeah.
Jeannie joins us now. The Fair Oaks-based company has dozens of franchises across the U.S. The owner tells you this is the only.
How do you guys feel about that?
It's so unfortunate, and I don't think it's anybody's fault per se. I mean, they grew a lot faster than they intended, if that's what truly did happen and everything. But that's what happens, and I've seen this happen in the last fall, where builders weren't able to finish. Regular builders that had to file bankruptcy during the 2008 mark. So be very careful when you're buying a brand new build. These things could happen.
Yeah, and ADUs, it has been very popular lately. A lot of people that wanted to buy a home, or what is that? Yeah, a lot of people that wanted to buy a home, but it was just too expensive for like their in-laws or their elderly parents. Decide, you know what? Hey, we got a big enough yard that's gonna qualify to get it just ADU done. You can just move in into the ADU, and it sounded great 'cause it was much more affordable, and it's right next to family. So it did got very popular over the past few years, especially since that new law came out to where basically they were giving out grants to homeowners to do ADUs, right? So a lot of people was trying to take advantage of it, and I think that's pretty typical, right, Charles? You're like a contractor in a sense to where you're, when you first start off as a company, you're doing great, service is great, but you take on so many jobs that you start losing that quality of service that you once had, right? And I think that's one thing me and Charles, we talk about a lot, right? To where you're getting so busy now and you want to do it all because that's just in your nature to be able to want to do that, serve your clients, but sometimes you're just one man, right? And I think that's what ends up happening here in this case for these tiny homes, the CEO, because he took on more than what he could handle. But he mentioned he's running out of money to pay his contractors or his subcontractors, and that's why he had to stop some of the jobs. So I'm a little confused because that lady said that she already paid, right, for the 100 and some $1,000 worth of the job. So aren't they getting paid? Are they getting paid in full for it, or they just getting paid like half of it, and then the remaining half is when it's finished? Like that wasn't really clear, you know?
Well,
Right.
so
It's really clear. And
obviously,
honestly, I don't know because I have people asking me, hey, do you have vacant land lots? Do you have things like that? It's still very risky for the bank to take that, especially in situations like this, right? So a lot of times these people do have to pay it up front, yeah, especially for 100
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So then,
yeah,
if that's the
so
case, why are they running out of money? Aren't they?
because they're using it on things that they shouldn't be using it on. They're paying things they shouldn't be paying, right?
Yeah.
That same CEO, just I don't know exactly how it's working, but just putting the money into other places. And we've talked about this. Just like you said, I'm not willing to compromise that quality. So it's like if the growth has to wait, then that's what it is. I actually know
Yeah.
somebody that's dealing with this company, right? So same situation. They bought property about almost 2 years ago now, and has lots of vacant space on it. Her mother decided to sell her property, up in the hills, and then get a home built on their property by this company, right? And we're
Mm,
not talking 100 grand. We're talking, closer to 400 grand, and it's a much larger home. It's like it's over 1,000 square feet, right?
okay.
So they've been having problems with this company from the start, with their dates being constantly pushed out, and it was supposed to be done fully in July. Obviously, we're past that now, but it's been multiple delays, and it's ridiculous, right? And then, so now it's the exact same thing. They're sitting with a house that's unfinished after paying over $300,000 to these people, and that's it.
So
So they
it
basically have to
seems
take
like
the property. They have to take it over themselves and finish it
so
up
it seems
themselves
like
and hire their own contractors.
so basically it seems like their money management skills could use some work then, right? Even if they did finance it, Chia, even if they did finance it, again, the money is already in the builder's pockets.
Yeah, see, that's sad. Definitely poor money management, from what we see and what we're kind of, uh, you know, talking on now. The other thing too is this owner is getting liens by the county.
Mm-hmm.
So like that makes me worry because then are they even pulling permits to do it or they're just building it?
No, they're pulling permits. They're pulling permits. That's the problem, is they're pulling permits, and then they're dealing with these companies, these subcontractors that were hired to do the work, but then Anchor Tiny Homes didn't pay them. And so now where are they going to get the money from? They're already set and in contract to do work on this property. So now the only place that they can get it from is from this property that they already started working on, and they'll lean that property, right? And that's what's been happening. So they are pulling permits. They're having the inspectors and everything come out, the building inspectors and everything. It's just that they aren't paying their contractors. So the contractor's like, I'm not coming back out there. I'm not going to. So they just stop working. And then they're not even paying their employees.
So not only that, because, you know, we do flip properties and everything. So a lot of times contractors, they underestimate how much it's going to cost to build something. Chia, you know that, right? And then if you're doing it for multiple properties, and the rule of thumb is you got to make sure you got to cushion another 15 to 25% on top of what the contractor says, just to give that a little bit leeway. Now, if they didn't do that, okay, because they're thinking, okay, this is a huge project and everything like that. You know, contractors, this is your gold mine to earn some income. But at the end of the day, if it's going to cost them more, they're going to charge more. So that could be into play, especially when there's so many houses to do.
Yeah, and you know, we don't really know the full story. This is just all of us kind of getting together. We don't know what's going on between closed doors, what's really going on between the contractor, the subcontractors, and the CEO. You know, there might have been some mix-up, some promises that was made that wasn't fulfilled, you know. But there's another article, right, that I wanted to share with you guys too that has a lot to do with ADUs too. And it's this: San Jose to allow property owners to sell ADUs. So it's the first city in right now in California to move forward with this, right? Passing this ever since the legislature passed last year. So this might start being the norm. I know that in other areas of the U.S., like other states, have already been implemented. I think Seattle's one. You guys are gonna start seeing this. If inventory doesn't really go up high enough to be able to like suppress the market and make it stabilize, they might start allowing homeowners to sell ADUs. So ADUs is about to get more expensive. So companies like Anchor Tiny Homes that we just saw, that might start being the norm. More companies might start coming out soon to where they're going to be promoting building ADUs. And the thing is, right now, it hasn't been too saturated yet that I've seen to where it's still somewhat more affordable versus if you building a brand new home. Oh, because remember, you go build a brand new home, you got to hook up utilities, you got to go buy the lot, you got to find lender that's even willing to give you the money. Otherwise, it's all cash coming out from your own pockets. So with the ADU, it's a little bit more doable because you already own the lot. You already have utilities for the main house. You're just building up, right? So to a lot of homeowners, this might be sexy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're having a lot of ADUs for sale soon, you know, in Sacramento here, because San Jose is like a couple hours away.
Well, I think we have more potential in Sacramento because we have more houses that have more land.
True, we have way more of that, you know. So a lot of those rural areas that have acreages, I feel like those are probably going to be the one that's going to probably try to capitalize on this a lot, or not, because normally those owners like their land, you know. That's why they went and bought out this because they have their livestocks and they have all their toys, you know. So I don't know, but for sure, people's gonna try to capitalize on this. I remember when ADU first became a thing. Remember, Lisa? And we got a client that was in contract with one, and it
Yeah.
was so hard to get comps on it. Remember, no lender wanted to appraise it because that was the only home in the area that had an ADU.
Yep.
Remember? And then now it's like
That house
this.
never sold.
Huh?
That house never sold. It still hasn't sold.
I know. No, it hasn't. It's on the market. It's being rented out to a tenant. So yeah, you know, so ADU is gonna probably be on a lot of people's topics soon, you know, especially since this is like the first take right here to allow San Jose homeowners to start selling ADUs. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay. And
We can talk about that. We can definitely talk about that in the future because I'll have a lot of updates
Yeah, you're gonna be inspecting all these ADUs eventually too, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we got one that we're doing on Monday that's got a little ADU on it, with an extra little apartment on the side, and they're getting ready to sell that, so the whole thing, but not just part of it, but the whole thing. We'll do those from time to time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the show for today. Hopefully everybody got something out of it. If you guys, found this information informative, helpful, share it with friends and family, tag them, let them know, or comment below if you guys have other topics you guys want us to talk about. I really do appreciate you guys reaching out to us, like DMing us on a personal basis, just saying, hey, Chick, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? We really appreciate it. You guys are the one that actually gives us the ideas to talk about these things. So hopefully it helps, and hopefully it's been really informative. But we're going to end it here. If you guys are looking to buy a sell, reach out to us. If you guys are looking for a home inspection, reach out to Charles. If you guys are looking to know what your budget is for a loan scenario, reach out to Lisa. And with that, we will let you guys go. Peace out now, Chi Chi fams.